you'd like to see me turn this patch of dirt into my very first Gnome Village, please keep watching. This is the area I'll be creating the Gnome Village in, but first I have to pull out all the weeds. I have loads of rocks that I could make good use of, so I'm going to do a rock border around the whole area. Just had this last minute idea to use some fairy lights I had lying around, and it was meant to be because it has fit this area perfectly, and we'll check this out later in the video. Started to add a few bits and pieces that I had, just getting a general idea of the layout. Starting off with this house that does have a gnome at the door. We've got a red lamppost, a little basket of flowers, and a single file rock path leading to a bridge and extending out a bit further. Looks very cute. I did some shopping today. Had to make sure I do have enough houses and accessories to add to the village. Most of this will be used, and this is just extra to what I already have to use. I've added in this little house. It has a little welcome sign next to it, and I'm just making a path leading from the door and the sign. Here is the finished look, and I really do love it. We've got a couple of white ducks lying around. We've got two little yellow ducklings sitting by a little pond. I've added in a little tree and a bush. And this is actually next to a rock formation I created. I've put a bridge there, and we've got a tiny little frog sitting on the bridge, and we've got some frogs here on the seesaw looking very cute. Here I've done a single file rock path to a little mushroom house. Just to the left we've got a little fence with some flowers on it, and just behind we've got a little chicken coop with eggs and a chicken, and two little mushrooms by the door there. It looks really cute. Here I'm putting together a campfire setting. Just done a ring of rocks, some bench seats, a little pot, some tree stump seats, and I broke up a stick to place in the center as firewood. I'll add more to this area later. I've added in this cute pear-shaped house, and I'm just creating a pathway leading from the doorway. And here's how it looks. I've added in this cute archway which has flowers and vines on it. To the right we've got some fresh apples for sale, and we've got a little apple tree and a little mole holding an apple, and there's a little ladybug to the left of the house. It looks so cute. I've started working at this end of the Gnome Village today. Added in this little mushroom house. It has a little gnome peeking out the top window. There are two little mushrooms to the right, and I've got two feature rocks in the stone pathway, one saying magic, one saying dream, and to the left we've got a carrot patch with carrots for sale and a little bunny. I've added a little door and pathway under the existing rose bush. It has a little pot of flowers at the door and a blue lamppost. Next to it I have put some brown fencing, a little windmill, and just in there we have some little pigs having fun in the mud, and there's an old crusty bridge. I've added in this little flower house, and I've used some blue glow-in-the-dark pebbles as the pathway. We've got a little bunch of pink flowers to the right with a blue butterfly, and just to the left we've got a little seesaw. I've put down 2 adjoining houses here. This one has a white pebble pathway with a couple of hedges and bushes. In between the houses there is a green lamppost and a little flower bird bath. And behind the houses we've got a little cat, a fairy on a swing, and a little seesaw. The next house I've added to the village is a yellow teapot house, and again I'm just doing a little pebble stone pathway. So I've done this pathway veering sideways, going around a little succulent I've planted. Has a stack of rocks that say welcome to my garden, little flower and ladybug. There is a gnome at the door already, and to the left there's a little tree. Now I've added in one of the new mushroom houses I've purchased and doing another pathway coming from the front door. Okay, so I've got 2 little feature rocks either side of the door, the pathway, and over here we've got a hammock which is made out of a little leaf, a little mushroom behind the house, and here we've got some vegetables. This is how it looks so far, and as you can see I've got a lot of space to fill. I have this large rock that I've got from the garden. I have a good idea for it. I've just got to give it a few coats of paint. The rock is now painted and I'm going to have a go at painting a sign on it. And here we have it, my little painted welcome to Gnome Village rock sign. Painted a couple of flowers on it, stuck on a little ladybird. Not too bad, I'm pretty happy with it. I'm going to put these 2 beautiful flower posts with the welcome sign. I've put the rock sign just in this front corner here with the 2 flower posts, and it looks really nice. I'm now working on the 12th house added to the Gnome Village, laying out another pathway and trying a different look for this one. So what I've done is I've partly buried this house in a mound of dirt to resemble a hill. It's a little pineapple house. It has a little letterbox to the right. I've put a ladder resting against the house. We've got a little stump seat and a puppy dog. I am now becoming an expert at laying down little rock paths. So here I go again, adding a pathway from a yellow tulip house. Here is the end result. To the right of the house there is a little boxed tree, and by the door a little possum, and down the left here a tiny little mushroom house. So right in the back corner of the village I've got a little blue teapot house, and I'm doing a white stone pathway. And here's the teapot house finished. I've added in a few accessories like fake purple lavender, a little hedgehog, a bird bath with a blue bird. We've got some little blue mushrooms, a sign. This is next to the tulip house, so I moved the seesaw between them. I have added a new house to the village, and that means I have to do another pathway, of course. Well, this looks like a very fancy mushroom house. We got the white stones going around a little chair and table. And over here, this little guy is holding a welcome sign, and it does look so adorable altogether. I have added another new house. This one is a purple lilac flower house, and every house must have a pathway. The path is now done. I have put down a little tiny white bunny, and there is a pink sleeping tree next to the house, and this path is connected to the first house that I put in the village. I bought a new little house today. This is a cute little gumnut house, and I'm adding a path to it. That is now done. Just a couple of accessories here. I've got a little letterbox on a stack of bricks. Can we just take a moment to appreciate the gorgeous little front door on this house? This is another new house that I bought today. I'm just adding a pathway to it, and this house has a little solar panel on it, so this should light up at night. Just a little pathway for this mushroom house with a couple of mushrooms to the right and a little cat lying on the left there. It's another new day, so a new house has been added to the village, and I am putting down another new pathway. I love the look of this house. It has two very special feature pavers, little gnome footprint pavers, so adorable. We've got some wild mushrooms there. We've got two little geese. There is a sign that says Gnome Home and a little floral tree stump. I love it. I've done a quick house setup here with no pathway. There is a little hedgehog in front of a little wooden bridge that leads straight to the front door of a pink mushroom house. We've got a couple of pink wild mushrooms, a ladder at the rear of the house, and some pot plants. Another quick addition, I've got a little house with a very little pathway with stone wall edging, some wild mushrooms, a gnome home sign, a little chair, a stump table, and a patch of grass. I love this adorable house that I've added. We've got a pathway, some wild mushrooms, a bench, and a little goose there. This is the last little house in the Gnome Village. I have officially run out of houses. This is just a little berry house with steps going to the door and a couple of wild mushrooms. Here is the finished Gnome Village. The gnomes have been added. I've never made one before, so I'm really pleased with how this looks. Let's take a closer look around. Welcome to Gnome Village. I only had so many materials to use, so I've tried to fill the gaps as much as possible with foliage and extra little accessories. So here's the camping area again. So I've added trees, there is a kangaroo, and there is a little koala. This is an Australian gnome village, so must have the koala and kangaroo. If you are still watching this video, thank you so much. I hope you do like the gnome village that I have created. It was difficult for me to refilm the village with everything in place without stepping on something or knocking something over. So I will apologise for some of the shaky video footage. I did also have trouble finding mini resin garden gnomes that were all of the same size. So this village has a variety of gnome sizes. The village has a total of 22 houses, and I really only stopped because I did run out of houses. I think I could fit in maybe 3 to 5 more, which I will do down the track when I find some new little houses to purchase. Unfortunately, this village is out in the open, so it is exposed to the weather, and we are heading into our winter season, so it has been rained on a fair bit, but luckily has not caused too much damage. I love the extra additions I've done to this mushroom house. I've added in some little sheep, a pig, fencing and a windmill. I also really love this end of the village. There are 4 houses in a row, so it looks very neighbourly. I've added in a green garbage bin back there, and at this end I've placed 2 lady gnomes because the tulip house and the teapot house are very girly. I have previously made fairy gardens in pots. If you would like for me to show them to you, or you're keen to see me create a new fairy garden, just let me know by hitting the like button. That would be awesome. So if you're into little mini fairy gardens or little mini collectibles, if you're into collecting things, I myself have a few collections, e.g. Lego, jigsaw puzzles, coins. I'm going to show some of my collections on this channel. I'm also going to be doing some card affirmations, and if you're into general crafty projects, these are the sorts of things I'll be showing on my channel. So if you hit the subscribe button, you won't miss my upcoming videos. We are almost at the end of the video. Thank you again if you are still watching. I hope you did enjoy watching me create the village. Like I said, I've never done a gnome village before, and I certainly haven't done one this size. And before I go, I promised I would show you this garden at night with the fairy lights. In 3, 2, 1. How cool and magical does this look with the fairy lights going around the edging? I actually think it looks more magical at nighttime. And that is the solar powered little mushroom house. It really looks like there is a gnome inside.